In the name of our Lord Yahushua the Mashiach, in the name of our Lord Jesus Christ, we continue to correct John MacArthur and his ilk, including Zodhiates, Zodhiates of the Hebrew-Greek Study Bible. The poetry of the Greek poet Serapion is said to be closer to Homer and Hesiod than to what the Pythian priestesses put out. So we see this evidence points to a Greek oracle spoken in ungrammatical Greek. Indeed, it is said that the oracles had to start modifying their output because of the continual criticism they were getting from the Epicureans. An argument is then added by Theon, which would also tend to show further differences to tongues. Taken all in all, there is no way to escape from you of Epicurus. You find fault equally with ancient prophetesses for making bad verse, and with the modern who deliver their oracles in prose and commonplace language, so as not to have to account to you, people, for a line that is a syllable short, or at the beginning, or in the middle, or at the end. The evidence here not only points to a Greek which comes from the priestess, which is understood, but a Greek which was modified because of the criticism of the Epicureans. This puts the whole idea a step further away from tongues, and perhaps even the concept of prophecy coming from this oracle is challenged. The Dictionary of Pentecostal and Charismatic Movements point to Park, the Delphic Oracle 1956, as presenting the clearest evidence of what they call pagan glossalia. Page 336. However, a closer reading of Park does not indicate that the Pythia or priestess's recipient of the messages was speaking anything like tongues, but rather metaphorical Greek. It may, quote, "It may be taken as certain, however, that the oracle did not seek to present any purely linguistic difficulties to the inquirer. However enigmatic its meaning might be, and that Apollo tended to speak idiomatic Greek." Added to this understanding are the cases presented by Zodhiates. 1 second.
Okay, kan du må være stillere, eller du må gå oppe, okay?
Okay, we continue. Added to this misunderstanding are the cases presented by Zodhiates. Now here we deal with Spyrus Zodhiates, a kind of ally of John MacArthur, in the Hebrew-Greek Study Bible, 1 Corinthians 14, where he states, and remember, he's stating it with his supposed Greek expertise as a background. Intoxicated by the fumes from the chasm, she uttered incoherent sounds which were interrupted. The peace in the other churches and lack of confusion was due to the fact that there was not the same practice of speaking in an unknown tongue as the Corinthians, perhaps allowing their women to imitate the Delphic priestesses. Page 1526, 1527 Hebrew Greek Key Study Bible. This theory of her activity had already been abandoned in 1956 after excavation of Delphi and the discovery that there was no chasm for a vapor to come from. Then there is the theory that the Corinthians were imitating her frenzy and uncontrolled behavior and incoherent words, but the close reading of the sources show us that there was, as a rule, no frenzy. Most of what Park had described about her behavior was speculation. He himself said, "Unfortunately, the accounts of the Pythia's actual behavior when engaged in the act of prophesying almost all provide untrustworthy data for investigation, as they come from poets, rhetoricians who were not eyewitnesses nor serious reporters." Fontenrose in the Delphic Oracle put the nail in the coffin of the idea of a frenzied Pythia. He reviewed all historical evidence and concluded, those who are willing to give up the gases cling to the frenzy or trance. Here we can see Spyrus Zodhiates standing there. Yet, and as Amandri 1950 41 to 56 has shown, There is no reliable evidence in ancient literature for a frenzied or raving Pythia. The conception of the Pythia's madness found in a few late writers has its origin in the Plato's conception of prophetic mania. We have already mentioned this concept above. So, let us look squarely in the face at Spiros Zodhiates. John MacArthur, you are wrong. The Corinthian church were not imitating the Pythia. The Corinthian church was speaking in the Holy Spirit, and they were speaking in the tongues given by the Holy Spirit, not some false god. We move on in a moment.